So I'm gonna try to do a movie review over the Halloween Ends movie. This is probably just gonna be a mess of thoughts jumbled all up into one video, I guess. Probably some Dead by Daylight gameplay in the background of me playing Myers or something. So I just came back from the theater from watching it, and it wasn't really what I was expecting at all, especially compared to last year's movie. Last year's movie was amazing in my opinion. It was Myers basically terrorizing the whole Haddonfield town, and it looked like it was gonna lead up to something huge. But this one was kind of slow and it dragged a little bit. And to be honest, Michael isn't even in the movie that much. He actually only kills two people. The other, it, the rest of the kills come from a guy kind of possessed. I don't know. From Myers. The guy that does most of the killing, he's introduced in the very beginning, opening scene, if you want to call it that. His name's Corey, and he was babysitting a kid that was an absolute brat. There was an accident where the kid ended up dying, and everyone in the town blamed the Corey because they thought he killed him, which, I mean, technically he did kill the kid, but it was a complete accident. The kid locked him in a room, and whenever he was trying to get out, obviously, and he busted down the door, and then the kid got hit by the door, and they were on the top floor of like a 3 or 4 story house, and he fell and died. But in all honesty, that's an accident. But yes, he did kill the kid technically. The opening takes place in 2019 on Halloween, the year after the Halloween 2018 movie, where the town's all shaken up by Michael Myers' attack and all that mess. Then we jump forward to the present time, 2022, and everyone's older. But that kid ended up getting, bullied by this group of seniors, and he's like 23, 24 at this time. But those seniors are in the movie a lot, bullying this 24-year-old guy, and they ended up pushing him off a bridge, but Corey still was alive. And then Michael Myers apparently drags him into the sewer where Myers has been staying for the past 4 years, or 3 years, I guess. No, it was 4 years. But so Myers is hiding out in the sewers, and apparently he doesn't kill Corey, but he takes him in there, lets him wake up, and then he kind of, I guess in this scene you could say he somehow possessed Corey in a way, because after that Corey starts killing people. I don't know why. But whenever Corey's in the sewer, I told you this is going to be a mess of thoughts. It's not going to be one coherent, story. But anyway, whenever Corey's trying to leave, Meyer grabs him by the neck, and he kind of just they look at each other, and then Myers lets him go. But anyway, Corey was introduced to Laurie's daughter, Allison, by Laurie because she found him the first time that he was getting bullied by the seniors. And so she introduced those two for some reason, and they kind of have a thing throughout the movie. But at the same time, Corey's also killing these people. He killed like 9 people, 9 or 10, something like that. I guess because he was just angry at the town and sort of possessed by Myers. At one point in the movie, he goes to the sewer where Myers is at, and steals his mask from Myers, because I guess Myers is weak because he hasn't killed in 3 years, 4 years, I mean. Which actually reminds me, at one point, he Corey and Myers goes and breaks into the guy that Allison is working for. She's a nurse, so she works for a doctor. And the doctor brought back, the doctor's kind of an asshole to Allison and, like, bosses her around and all that mess. But Corey and Myers break into their house, the doctor's house, and kill him and the nurse he brought back to his house. So they're like they're like a duo, killing people. But that was only one scene. There was only 2 people. Well, you know what? Now that I think about it, Myers killed 3 people, not 2, because he did kill one of the nurse in that scene. Those are like the big main things that happen. But after Corey does steal a mask from Myers, he does go around and, starts doing a little rampage or whatever you want to call it. And kills a couple people wearing that mask as Myers, because I guess he has a Myers complex. Anyway, in the end, of course, Corey gets killed by Laurie because he breaks into her house and tries to kill her, because that's what Myers does, and I guess Corey thinks he's Myers. But I guess Laurie didn't technically kill him because No, Laurie didn't kill him at all because he stabbed himself in the neck as like a suicide, I guess. But apparently he still survived even though he plunged a 7-inch knife into his neck, like all the way. But Myers comes back, gets his mask, finishes off Corey, and then, of course, goes after Laurie after that. But then, in a fight scene between those Laurie and Myers, which has to happen in every Halloween movie, but Laurie actually kills him. She, in a pretty cool scene actually, she pins him to a table in the kitchen with knives, like in his hands, so he can't move. And then she knocks a whole refrigerator on his leg, so he's like stuck there. And then she stabs him a couple times, cuts his throat and his wrist, and then supposedly Myers bleeds to death. But that's not enough, which I totally agree. They need to make sure he's actually dead. So they tie him to the roof of Allison's car, drive him through the city with a police escort and everything, because the police are okay with this. And they go to a car shop or junkyard or whatever you want to call it that Corey worked at, and they throw him in the industrial grinder that grind up like big metal pieces with, I guess. But we see him get all crunched up and destroyed and ripped up, so he's definitely dead. Overall, the whole movie was very anticlimactic, especially compared... I know I'm comparing this a lot to the 2021 Halloween Kills movie, because that whole movie was like all grand, and there was a lot of kills, and there was like mass hysteria in the town. But really, in this one, it's not really a big deal at all. Like, nothing is really happening, just some guy that's not Michael Myers killing a bunch of people, and Myers only makes a few appearances in the whole movie. One thing that this movie did remind me of was Jason Goes to Hell, because in that movie Jason possesses other people because he dies in the very beginning of it, and he's trying to reincarnate himself I guess by possessing other people, and he's trying to get to another Voorhees because that's the only way he can become physical form again. But he's not in that movie at all. It's other people killing for him, as him, I guess. And then he comes in at the very end of the movie, which is basically exactly what happens in this movie, except Michael is still alive this whole time, and he's kind of just taking over Corey in a way. like I said, it doesn't really make a lot of sense why Corey did what he did. I guess, like I said before, he was just angry at the town and tired of them calling him a murderer, that he became a murderer and a serial killer. I don't know, maybe there was something I was missing from the whole movie. But in the very, very end, it showed Allison leaving Haddonfield, presumably to start a new life and get away from everything because Halloween is over. It ended. Then it shows Laurie and Hawkins having a little meetup, I guess. They're doing their little flirty thing again. And then it pans around the house, and it shows Michael Myers' mask sitting on Laurie's coffee table in her living room. I'm not really sure what that's implying, or if it implies anything. But yeah, that's how the movie finally ended. So those are just my messy thoughts about this first viewing of Halloween Ends. I don't even know if I'll post this. I just wanted to talk about it. But yeah.